y'all, I'm Hope here at Crafty Hope. Welcome to my studio. I am about to work on week 6 of the ICAD Stitches project that I'm doing for ICAD. ICAD means Index Card a Day. It is the brainchild of Tammy Garcia. Her website is Daisy Yellow, and you can find her on Instagram as Gypsy999. I will put her links below for you. She does daily themes and weekly prompts to help you play along, but really all ICAD is about is for the 61 days of June and July is to alter an index card using some art. So you can use a 3x5 or 4x6. I don't think she recommends going any bigger than that. I am using 4x6 because these are ones that I got in a thrift haul that look like they had records on them. Also, my friend Nina Fickett has mixed media ICAD prompts that are daily prompts, kind of related mostly to mixed media. So when I can work those in, I will. But my focus this year is on learning embroidery stitches. So I am, for the most part, working my way through this book called The Stitch Sampler by Lucinda Ganderton. I'll put a link to it below as well. And we started with, what did we start with? What were they? Outline stitches, and now we're on border stitches. So, and after that, I'm not sure. Filling stitches, I may not make it to that. But I plan to continue to do this. So, today my stitch is the zigzag chain stitch, which looks kind of like it's just a chain stitch that instead of like going in a line, you're kind of this says it recommends using a twisted thread, so I will be using some twisted thread that I have here. I've already got it on a needle. I've got some rusty fabric on a hoop. And the Daisy Yellow prompt today is imaginary. And normally, y'all, that would like excite me and totally have me making fairies and all kinds of stuff. But because I'm focused on the stitches, I'm not real sure how to work with that. My card here is Cinderella by Julie Andrews, which I guess could be imaginary. But I don't know. Again, I can't really figure out how to work that in. The mixed media ICAD prompt for Nina could also apply to this. It's music, but I just got some sheet music that I'm gonna probably just stick down, maybe. I don't know. I might leave the Cinderella word showing. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, I've been talking for almost 3 minutes now. I'm gonna get to stitching. I will let you take a look at some of that stitching and see you on the other side. So I guess by imaginary, I went more fever dream direction. Let's talk about the stitch. The stitch was fine. Hopefully you got, my camera was freaking out during that, so hopefully I got some of it recorded. Here's what I thought. It was a chain stitch, but instead of just going straight down, you're gonna angle it out for each time. Fine enough. Where I ended it was kind of weird. It wasn't even, so I decided it looked kind of like a cactus or some kind of plant or something. And yeah, so I kind of went with that and went through a container I have of a bunch of like focal elements and just started pulling stuff out. Now I did put the music paper in the background, kind of tore it, put some distress oxides on it. And that's when I started pulling out things. And so I have this, like I said, bit of a fever dream. It's so much fun. I don't know. I can't complain. It's definitely imaginary. So like I was thinking imagination. So, you know, like something that comes out of your dreams or something like that. So I've got lots of little mushrooms and plants and my stitching, and it's fine. All the elements are there. What can I say? Okay, we'll see how tomorrow goes. It is July 7th, about 10 till noon or so. So it's the 37th day of ICAD. Oh, what's the name of the stitch I think I'm going to do? It is the rosette chain stitch. It is advanced. I was thinking about skipping ahead a few of these more advanced ones that I don't think I like, and going over to the blanket stitch, and then like the buttonhole stitch and things like that. Things that I thought I would use more often, but this rosette chain stitch I kind of like, and I kind of want to try it. So it looks a bit like maybe the twisted chain stitch that I did before. We'll see, but there's a technique variation in here of doing it in a circle that looks really neat, and that's what drew my attention. So I'm going to try this variation on it. It does require non-stranded thread, so I've got some of my like twisted thread. The Daisy Yellow prompt today is metallic, and the Mixed Media ICAD prompt today is tissue paper. So I'm combining those, and I've got this tissue paper that's got like metallic flowers on there. I don't know if you can, it had even come out of the bag. I don't know if you can see that in that plastic bag, that those blue flowers have a sparkle to them, like a metallic sheen. So I think I'm going to do that, use that on my card somehow, and then add this with some, yeah, I don't know, I've got 3 circles drawn on here, and we'll see how it goes. I may not have left myself much room, so I'm gonna have to start like over here where there's not much room between the back edge. So we'll see. We're gonna try this. I'll be back in a second. I kind of just went for it. I did do the circles. That first round, I'm not sure which one I'm gonna show you. I recorded 2, so there's one you'll see, one you won't, but I didn't quite have the hang of it. And so I'm glad I did 3 circles, so I kind of got the hang of it. By the 3rd one, found a rhythm to it. I like it. I like it, especially since I did the rounds. I really do like it. So you can see my metallic tissue paper here. I did some collaging in the background, added some words, just kind of played, and I'm trying to decide if this is okay as it is, or if I want to add, I don't know, something more to it. It's not the focal, so I'm kind of wanting to just leave it and be done, because it's, yeah, I've been doing this for over an hour and it's well past lunchtime, so I should probably go figure that out. All right, we will see what tomorrow holds. It's a Saturday, and yeah, we'll see what happens. It is Saturday, I don't even know anymore, Saturday, July 8th. It's about noon, 12:30, it's 12:30. I have been working on cleaning my craft desk so that it will, I don't know if y'all get a good view of that, but I popped on my earbuds and listened to a book on tape and cleaned up the craft room some. It was in desperate need from all my packing and unpacking and just throwing stuff there everywhere. So I have done that. It is time for my stitches today. I think I mentioned yesterday, the day before, that I was gonna maybe skip ahead. So I'm skipping 3 stitches that just don't have my interest, and I'm going to the blanket stitch. So, and I think I may do that from here on, just start kind of like picking and choosing what stitches I want, because I'm still in border stitches. After that is composite border stitches, which I'm not super interested in, so I may skip that whole section. Then there's some filling stitches, which I may do some of those. We'll see. Some of them are kind of easy. Not real sure. Yeah, so like I'm just gonna skip through, and then there's filling stitches and open work, and so there's a couple things in here that seem super interesting, and then there's cut work. So there's a lot of things in this book that I kind of want to get to, and there's no way that I would get to them all in the 61 days of ICAD. So I'm gonna like skip some and go back. So I may, you know, once ICAD's over, I may continue to work on some of these stitches, so you may see them if I continue this like a vlog series. So we'll see. And pardon my breakouts and my being out of town and eating not the way I normally eat, and my imbalances are all weird. So anyway, that is what I'm going to work on, is the blanket stitch. And so the Daisy Yellow prompt today is Zodiac, and the Mixed Media ICAD prompt is Amusement. And both of them have me like, Zodiac, I just don't even know how I can work it in. I don't know. I can't think of anything I have that would have like zodiac signs or astrology, anything. I just can't think of anything. So I'm probably gonna skip ahead. I mean, I could use, I've got like the Mercury, this just happens to be sitting here. So amusement, I think I'm going to kind of keep it in mind that I'm doing the blanket stitch for my own amusement. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to try to enjoy doing it, take my time. You'll see some of it, but I kind of want to cover a lot of this material with a blanket stitch and play with it, because I've seen some stuff on Instagram that I really like with layers of blanket stitches. So I kind of want to see if I can do that for my own amusement. We'll see what happens. Okay. Seriously play with that. So you only get to see a little bit of my blanket stitching there. Is that what it's called? Oh y'all, I've lost my mind now. And I played with it. I looked at some of the things I have saved on Instagram that I was digging. I'll have to maybe try to remember to share that, some of those pictures, like links to those Instagram post of what I was trying to achieve. I'm nowhere near it. I definitely think I either need less thread or smaller stitches or something, more practice probably. But I did this card. I did not focus on Zodiac in any way. As far as amusement, I did just let myself play. I did think that maybe some of these like loops maybe look like a roller coaster at an amusement park. So there's that. But I was watching Denise Zeros do some stuff with Venetian plaster, so I pulled out some of my texture placed and really played in the background. Did a bunch of collage with some old artist almanac pages, and then and put gesso and that plaster that I colored, and I'm covered in all kinds of stuff, which is great. It's a Saturday. I wanted to play. I played. So it is after 3 o'clock now. So, but we had lunch and I stopped and I've been watching videos and whatever. So I'm happy I played. And I'm you know, this card has no meaning, but I played. I did what I wanted to do, and we'll see what stitch I do tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be a surprise. It is July 9th at it's 4:20. I'm a little behind today. It's Sunday. I'm just kind of taking it slow. You know, taking my time to do things. I hadn't been super worried about this one, and I think that's part of it. Anyway, it's the 39th day of ICAD. Today, the stitch I'm going to do is called the open buttonhole, I believe. No, closed buttonhole, sorry. The closed buttonhole. It is basically a triangular shaped blanket stitch. I think that's what it says. Yeah, the method says triangular blanket stitch variation. It's easy, use whatever. I'm going to try it. The Daisy Yellow prompt today is levels. So I think I'm going to do my stitch in levels, like, you know, like layers, like stories in a building. But also the fabric I'm using is this, and it's on levels as well. So that's the best I can come up with levels. I don't know. Scrapbook paper, that's easy enough. That's the mixed media ICAD prompt, and I've got several 6x6 pads, and so I just grabbed one out of there. I've cut it down to size. I will glue it onto my card. I kind of hate that I'm going to cover up all of this beautiful typing with it, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to get to stitching. Things went so awry. So the stitch wasn't too bad. It's still not perfect. When I took it out of the hoop though, it kind of loosened everything up, so it definitely works in something that you can keep stretched. And then I tore down some of the fabric, and it like so it was right at the edge of some of the stitches that have I've covered them up. So I glued down that scrapbook paper there. Again, I've got the levels. I decided to bring in some of the flowers from the background, but I needed movement in the background and some, I don't know, I like these squares I added with just some acrylic paint, but they kind of look like bricks, and I can't, anyway, yearbook photo, some words, and it makes a little more sense, but this is just kind of like there. It's okay. There's no way. I thought about trying to do it onto the card, but because you have to insert the needle close to one of your other holes, I knew that was going to get persnickety and possibly tear the card. Yeah, and this is just, it was going to be too hard to try to do that on here and keep that triangle shape. So, okay, that is, like I said, card 39. We'll move on to card 40. Oh goodness. Okay. got some disturbing news this morning, and nothing like super bad, nothing like nobody died or anything, just business wise, some stuff that makes me unhappy. So I'm just in a mood, so we'll see how today goes. It is day 40 of ICAD. Is the 10th day of July. It's just after 1 o'clock. We just finished lunch. It's a Monday. I'm trying to get things done, trying to figure out what my next moves are with things. So, to make myself happy, I have already played with this card quite a bit. I'll explain all of that in a second. Let me tell you, my stitch today is the open cretin stitch. I am skipping a couple other stitches that I'm not interested in. This one seems kind of freeform, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm gonna play with it. I don't know what's gonna happen. It could be awful. I just kind of want to play. So that's the stitch day. Is an easy stitch. The Daisy Yellow prompt today is chandelier. While I like that, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I might be able to make the stitch look like a chandelier. We'll see. The Mixed Media ICAD prompt today, though, is Payne's Gray, and that is one of my favorite colors, and that's where some of the playing came in. I covered my card with some gesso and then used some peacock feathers distress oxide, and then I used one of these from an Easter egg kit, y'all, the clear crayons. I could have just used a white one, but that one was easier to find, and made marks, and then put on some Payne's Gray ink on it. So, and then splash some gold ink on it. So I'm super happy with this. These marks were made because I used that pen or pencil crayon. See, things are weird today. And the reason I thought of the crayon and all that is I grabbed this thread because knowing the Payne's Gray, I really like a rust color or a nickel azo gold with a Payne's Gray. So I grabbed this fabric and was like, what's on it? Y'all, that's wax. That's from the Amy Bishop Magpie Journal workshop. She had us using wax on stuff. So, but I'm using a part that doesn't have much wax on it, hopefully. Anyway, I'm gonna do my stitching, hopefully get in a better mood. I'm already in a better mood than I was earlier just making this. So maybe the rest of my day will just be making things. Ooh, that would be nice. Okay, we'll see. Probably keep playing with this card forever because I'm just wanting to play. Oof, sorry. So this is what I made. I kind of did this what did I say, open cretin stitch. I should look in a chandelier pattern. The Payne's Gray still back there. I added some crackle paste on the edges to kind of blend that in a little bit. I might add some words to it. You'll see in the final photos if I do, because yeah, this may not be done. I think I might need some words. We'll see what happens. Let me tell you again what that stitch is called before I forget. It is the open cretin, C-R-E-T-A-N, open cretin stitch. Does not have another term. So I'll give you some pictures of this. I'm gonna look and see if I have maybe a phrase or something I want to add on here, but it's done. I could have just kept playing with it since I'm using some of my favorite things, but I've got some bits and pieces of tin for jewelry making that I want to work on, so I think I'll get to that. Okay. it is the 11th day of July. It's a friend of mine's birthday. I need to wish her happy birthday. The 41th day of 41th? Is that right? It doesn't sound right. 41st day of ICAD. How about that? That sounds right. I have skipped a couple more of the stitches that just didn't seem fun to me today. I'm looking for something that piques my attention. I'm still in a not great mood. Anyway, the stitch I'm going to do today is the chained feather stitch. Super interesting looking. It kind of looks like a feather, kind of looks like a leaf. It's interesting. It is an intermediate stitch. And I kind of just want to play with it. I don't know that I'll use either one of the prompts. The Daisy Lay prompt is float or buoy, and the mixed media ICAD prompt is shoe. And the only thing I can think of when I think of those two together is a croc, because it's a shoe that floats. But yet, no, I don't like crocs. So I don't know what to do with float or buoy or shoe. When I think of the word float, though, I do think of just like water, like pool water or something that you can float on. So I might do like a blue scene on here. For now, I have got some fabric here, and I have some violet colored thread. I don't know, on my needle, and I want to play with the chained feather stitch a little bit. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. I really needed that. It's actually a border, well, it's labeled as a border stitch, but it did say it can be used as like a botanical or foliage, or what did it say? Foliage, decorative borders or foliage. So I totally used this foliage because once I started going, I was like, this is a fern. So this is what I made. I totally just centered on that. Once again, I might add some words on this. I don't know. It feels like it might need something here. So I might add, I don't know. I might add some words. Not sure yet. Maybe I'll leave it alone. Anyway, super cute stitch. The, what was it called? A chained feather stitch or a feathered chain. So, one or the other, feather chain or chained feather. I like feathered chain, I think, better. But anyway, I had a lot of fun with that. Did the background, did not use float or buoy or shoe, and I could not come up with anything. Like I said, I did use the blue in the background, kind of thinking like you would float in water. That's where you float. And then for shoe, the only thing I could think of was that maybe use the bottom of a shoe, like a flip-flop or something, for texture, like put it in paint and make some texture. Excuse me. But I didn't think of that till I was like tying off the last little French knot here. So, all right, guys, I will give you some pictures of this, and I'm in a better mood already. Just some meditative stitching has really helped me, and I should do that more often. That's why I'm doing this. It is the the 12th day of July, which means it's the 42nd day of ICAD. My stitch yesterday, the chained feather or feathered chain stitch, was the last of the border stitches. I told you I skipped several of them. The next section of my book is composite border stitches, which are interesting, but I don't know. It's not something I think I want to work on right now. Like, so, ooh, that one's interesting. But I think I'm gonna skip ahead to the filling stitches, filling, F-I-L-L-I-N-G, filling stitches. And that includes different knots and things like that. And I'm gonna skip the first couple of those because they're easy ones, like a straight stitch and an arrowhead and a seating stitch. Things that look pretty easy. There's not many days left of ICAD, so I kind of want to skip ahead to some that maybe would be more interesting. So there's one called a square boss stitch, which is interesting looking, and it's an intermediate level again, but I kind of want to just try it out, see what happens. So it is a filling stitch or an isolated stitch. So these are things that could be on their own as well. So, because there's like a star stitch and a woven star stitch that I might try as well. So, but I'm going to start with this square boss stitch. Also, I'm just looking through it. The Daisy Yellow prompt for today is trivia, and the Mixed Media ICAD prompt today is pen and ink. So trivia, the first thing I thought was Trivia Pursuit. That used to be one of my favorite games when I was a kid in the 80s. So I kept thinking of the round piece with the wedges in it, but I don't know, maybe I'll try to do that. I'm not sure. The Mixed Media pen and ink one definitely makes me want to pull out a dip pen and use some ink. So maybe I'll draw that trivia thing, or maybe I'll write some trivia in the background. Like, I want to write things maybe about the stitches. Like, did you know that I'm working on the square boss stitch? That's a bit of trivia. Something like that, because the did you know is what makes it feel like trivia to me. So and that'll probably just be on the card in the background. And once I do the square boss stitch on my fabric, I'll figure out if I can do it on the card or not. So I'm gonna get to it, and then we'll finish up this week. So we are finishing up week 6 with this card. I did the square boss here in the blue and decided to go ahead and try one of the other filler stitches and use the seating stitch, kind of just scattered around. It's actually what's attaching this fabric to this fabric. So the stitch itself was fine. It's just a cross stitch, and then you do a stitch over each of the arms. Yeah, not as complicated as it looked. I don't know why it's considered intermediate. I thought that was pretty easy. As for the other prompts for trivia, I used a little bit of gray ink with a, where did I put that dip pen? Oh, it's right here. With this dip pen, and wrote some trivia. So that's my pen and ink for the pen and ink one from Nina. But the trivia, I wrote in some trivia, some facts about both the square boss stitch and the seating stitch. I had to write on back what they are. So I cannot remember that's the square boss stitch. I don't know why. But just like what its uses are, like as a filler, as a border, as an, you know, trivia about the stitches. So and to me that's what trivia is just information, little facts. So those are little facts. All right, that is the end of week 6. And I can't remember how many weeks there are for ICAD. I think it's like 9.5 if I'm remembering correctly. But this is it for week 6. If you have any questions about this journey that I'm on, or about the stitches, or any comments, you know, if you know more about embroidery and like maybe some stitches I should be working on, let me know. They're probably in this book, and if not, maybe in one of the other 3 books that I have. So okay, oh, my nose is turning around, I better go. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, make sure to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see y'all very soon. I've got a video coming up tomorrow, but there'll be another vlog next week. See you then. Bye.